Raven, a character from DC Comics, is known for her mystical and telepathic powers. Sometimes she has crossed the line in her actions and use of powers. In today's video, we will talk about some of those notable moments. Leave your like and share today's video with your friends. Your subscription is also very important and would greatly help our channel. Let's go! Possession by Trigon. The possession by Trigon is one of the darkest and most devastating moments in Raven's life, highlighting the extent of her strength and the danger of her powers when corrupted. During these periods, her actions were deeply influenced by Trigon's evil, resulting in catastrophic events for both her friends and the world around her. While under Trigon's control, Raven became a conduit for her father's demonic powers. Her physical appearance changed drastically, showing red skin and 4 eyes, reflecting Trigon's demonic nature. In this form, she completely lost control over her emotions and actions, becoming a massive threat to everyone around her. One of Raven's most devastating actions while possessed was the mental manipulation of her friends and allies. Using her telepathic powers, she implanted visions and illusions that caused distrust and conflict among the Titans. This mental manipulation was designed to weaken the group's cohesion, making them more vulnerable and less able to resist Trigon's power. The Titans, who always relied on trust and teamwork, faced an internal crisis, struggling not only against Raven, but also against their own fears and suspicions. Besides mental manipulation, Raven, under Trigon's control, carried out devastating physical attacks against the Titans. Using her telekinesis and dark energy manipulation, she launched powerful attacks that defeated her friends on several occasions. These attacks were marked by brutality and precision, showing the extent of Raven's power when corrupted. Each battle against her became a desperate fight for survival, with the Titans struggling to protect not only themselves, but also Raven herself. Raven also acted as a gateway for Trigon's demonic hordes. During her possession, she opened portals to other dimensions, allowing Trigon's demons to invade Earth. These demons caused large-scale chaos and destruction, attacking entire cities and communities. The presence of these evil entities exacerbated the crisis, making the Titans' task even more challenging as they had to deal with both Raven and the demonic hordes she brought into the world. The destruction of cities was another tragic consequence of Raven's actions while possessed. Her uncontrolled power resulted in dark energy explosions that devastated large urban areas. Buildings were destroyed, lives were lost, and infrastructure was wrecked. The consequences of these actions were felt by millions of people, creating an environment of fear and hopelessness. Raven, under Trigon's influence, also used her dark empathy to drain the willpower of countless people. This act left many people apathetic and hopeless, making them easier to control and dominate. This tactic was part of Trigon's plan to subjugate humanity, weakening people's resistance and preparing the ground for his total domination. The final confrontation against Trigon was a battle on both the physical and mental planes. Inside Raven's mind, she directly confronted her father, fighting to regain control of her own identity. With the support of the Titans, who managed to weaken Trigon on the physical plane, Raven was able to expel her father's influence from her mind. This process of liberation not only restored Raven, but also strengthened the bonds between the Titans, showing the power of friendship and trust they shared. After her liberation, Raven faced a long road to redemption. The actions committed under Trigon's influence left deep scars on both her and her friends. She had to regain the Titans' trust and deal with the guilt and trauma of her actions while possessed. Despite these difficulties, Raven emerged stronger and more determined to control her powers and use her abilities for good. These events showed the extent of the danger Raven represents when corrupted, but they also highlighted the strength of her will and the power of friendship and trust in her ongoing fight against darkness. Her journey is a testament that even in the most desperate circumstances, the strength of the human heart can prevail over the forces of evil. Infinite Crisis. Infinite Crisis is one of the most important and complex events in the DC universe, published between 2005 and 2006. Written by Jeff Johns and illustrated by artists such as Phil Jimenez, George Perez, Ivan Rice, and Jerry Ordway, the saga was created to celebrate the 20th anniversary of the iconic Crisis on Infinite Earths. The story centers on the collision of various realities and the struggle for the survival of the DC multiverse, exploring themes of heroism, sacrifice, and the true nature of power. The plot of Infinite Crisis begins with the heroes noticing a series of catastrophic events, all seemingly connected. These include the destruction of the Justice League, the rise of a secret society of supervillains, and the collapse of the multiverse. Eventually, it is discovered that these events are part of a conspiracy orchestrated by former heroes from the Golden Age and Silver Age. These heroes include Superman from Earth 2, Lois Lane from Earth 2, Superboy Prime, and Alexander Luthor Jr. from Earth 3, who return with a plan to recreate the multiverse and replace the main Earth with a new and pure Earth 2. Superman from Earth 2 believes that the current Earth has become corrupt and needs to be replaced, while Superboy Prime wishes to return to a time when he was the only Superboy. Alexander Luthor Jr. plans to use a vast cosmic apparatus to restore the multiverse, even if it means the destruction of the main Earth. The heroes of Earth, led by Superman, Batman, and Wonder Woman, must unite forces to prevent Alexander Luthor Jr.'s plan from coming to fruition, facing colossal challenges and epic battles in the process. During Infinite Crisis, Raven plays a significant role, especially in the arc related to manipulation by Brother Blood and other villains. Raven, known for her empathic and mystical abilities, is targeted by various attempts at control and manipulation due to her connection to Trigon and her immense powers. Brother Blood, a classic villain of the New Titans, tries to exploit Raven's vulnerability, using her powers destructively and uncontrollably. This period marks one of the most intense challenges for Raven, who must fight against the malign influence not only of Trigon, but also of external forces attempting to corrupt her. The culminating battle of Infinite Crisis occurs when the heroes confront Alexander Luthor Jr. and his allies. The conflict extends across space and time, with cosmic consequences. Superman of Earth 2 and Superboy Prime are central figures in this confrontation, with Superboy Prime demonstrating a level of power and brutality that makes him one of the greatest threats the heroes have ever faced. The sacrifice and determination of the current heroes are crucial to defeating their former allies and preventing the catastrophic recreation of the multiverse. Infinite Crisis ends with the multiverse being partially restored, but with many changes and ramifications for the future of the DC universe. The consequences of this event reverberate for years, affecting countless characters and storylines. The saga is a meditation on heroism, legacy, and the choices that shape reality. The heroes learn that despite difficulties and sacrifices, hope and courage are essential to protect what is most important. Raven, at the end of Infinite Crisis, emerges stronger and more determined, having faced and overcome one of the darkest phases of her life. Her struggle against internal and external corruption reaffirms her role as one of the most complex and resilient figures in the DC universe, continually battling against darkness to protect those she loves. The Judas Contract. The story begins with the revelation that Deathstroke is hunting down the Titans one by one. He is driven by a desire for revenge after the death of his son, Grant Wilson, also known as Ravager, who was defeated by the Titans and died due to the effects of a drug that enhanced his powers. Slade Wilson blames the Titans for his son's death and takes on the mission to destroy them to honor the contract Grant had with the criminal organization HIVE. To achieve his goal, Slade doesn't act alone. He manipulates and allies himself with Tara Markov, also known as Terra, a young metahuman with the power to manipulate Earth and rocks. Terra, infiltrated into the Titans as an ally, acts as a spy, providing critical information to Deathstroke. Her betrayal is a devastating blow to the team, as the Titans considered her a friend and confidant. As the plot advances, Terra's true nature and her loyalty to Slade are revealed. She helps Deathstroke capture each member of the Titans, exploiting their vulnerabilities. Dick Grayson, still dealing with his transition from Robin to Nightwing, is particularly affected by Terra's betrayal. He is forced to confront not only Deathstroke, but also his own doubts and insecurities about his role as a leader and hero. The battle culminates when Deathstroke manages to capture almost all the Titans and deliver them to HIV. However, Slade's plan doesn't go as expected, as the Titans, led by Nightwing, manage to break free and counterattack. The final fight is intense and full of emotion, highlighting the resilience and team spirit of the Titans. Terra, upon realizing she is losing control of the situation and being confronted by her former friends, goes into a frenzy. She loses control of her powers, causing massive destruction around her. The story ends tragically with Terra's death, who succumbs to her own powers and emotional instability, leaving a lasting impact on all the Titans members. The Judas Contract is a narrative that explores themes of trust, betrayal, and redemption. It shows the complexity of relationships between heroes and villains, and how individual choices can have profound repercussions. Slade Wilson, as Deathstroke, is portrayed as an unrelenting antagonist and brilliant strategist, whose quest for vengeance is both personal and professional. His dynamic with Terra, a confused and manipulated young woman, adds a layer of tragedy to the story, underscoring the consequences of choices motivated by hatred and revenge.
See you in the next video. Take care, heroes.